Well, hey there, and hello, and welcome to the candy wallpapered upstairs hallway of the dollhouse for another reading from The Secret Language of Birthdays by Gary Goldschneider and Joost Elfers for August 14th, the day of the mortal mirror. And here we have us an image for the day of the mortal mirror. What could your image be that represents the day of the mortal mirror? Well, it's a mirror. Oh, how about that? A mirror for the day of the mortal mirror. Sometimes it's a little bit more, is obsequious the right word for it? It might be, I don't know, but sometimes you can't tell how it represents that day. Any event, hey, is it August 14th and it's your birthday today? Well, if it is, I just want to extend you a heartfelt happy birthday. And if you find this video long or maybe even shortly after your birthday has already come and gone, well, I hope you had a happy birthday. And for everyone else who's just joining us randomly, I want to say hello, welcome, and hope you enjoy yourself. Now, before we dive into the reading proper, let's do a little something I like to do called rolling the dice. This is the DykASSt birthday cast, so let's roll some dice. But why else? Oh, well, because of synchronicity. We want to get you your numbers for synchronicity. We got a 3 and a 4 for 7. That's right. Now, what is synchronicity, you may be wondering? Well, as simple nutshelled as I can without sounding too much of a moron here. Well, it's just you going out into the world and looking for your 3 and your 4 and your 7 and going after that number when you see it. The universe, if you have the intention that that's your number, now maybe you roll your own, but I'm putting this out there for you. You get your number going and you just look out for it. And the universe will put it down for you, all right? And even if you get off on your path or maybe you miss something that said 7, 3, or 4 on it, if you just give it some time, it's going to come back up. And then you just follow it. Maybe you get on a bus that has that number, and you get off on a stop that has that number. And you follow somebody with that number on their shirt for a little while until you see another one. It's just things are going to pop up, and generally they're interesting. And, you know, sometimes maybe none of this stuff happens. Who's to say? But either way, you're getting out of the house, you're opening yourself up to the mysteries of the universe, and there's nothing that can go wrong with that. Ostensibly. Anyway, hey, I'm just trying to get it out there for you for fun and for free. Hey, let's dive in with your birthday reading, okay? Yes, sir. For August 14th, the day of the mortal mirror. Your month is August, your day the 14th, and your sign is 20 to 22 degrees Leo, of the Leo 3 period specifically. And your quality and element is fixed fire. August 14th, the day of the mortal mirror. Those born on August 14th hold a mirror up to the human condition and are generally one of 2 types. The first type actually embodies the characteristics of their age, its style, philosophy, strengths, and weaknesses. Usually these August 14th people are not particularly aware of what they represent, nor are they interested in commenting on it. The second type is made up of those who comment and analyze, seeking to lay bare the foibles of their world, whether it be their own private circle or society at large. Themes of reflection and revelation run through their lives, and they often take leadership roles, but always as guides or teachers. So not necessarily formal instructors, but perhaps teachers through example or sharing of experience. Usually those born on this day have little to no interest in ruling, dominating, or dictating to others. Yet, paradoxically, exceptional people born on this day can come to dominate their field and therefore be looked upon as leaders. 2 areas which more highly evolved August 14th people are driven to ponder are those of personal integrity and morality, as well as the ephemeral nature of all human experience. Those August 14th people who are analysts of life around them usually understand the importance of humor in communicating their ideas, and the foolish, ironic, and awkward aspects of human social life do not escape their penetrating gaze. In holding a mirror up to themselves as they really are. All right. Sometimes such August 14th people use exaggeration and grotesquerie to attract attention or demonstrate their point. Others may react to their irreverence with delight, laughter, or disgust, but invariably find that something insightful has been expressed. They may also be promoted to consider themselves in light of what has been said and see if the shoe fits. August 14 people who are not commentators but embodiers of the human condition very much wear their heart on their sleeve. And they cannot really hide their faults or their problems, but through their struggles, or though their struggles are painfully evident, they are perhaps representative of what those who empathize with them, but also admiration from those who look to them for answers. Though this type of August 14th person may be lacking in self-awareness, they are nonetheless in touch with the concerns of their age. August 14 people are often drawn to relationships in which their mate becomes a mirror of their own inner self, which is naturally difficult for them to see. This animus or anima figure who is the object of their love is often a projection of their own best and worst traits, and in some cases an extreme personality in which one or two characteristics are dominant. All right, hey, what did I have to say about the breakdown of your birthday? Let's dive into some notes, shall we? August 14th. Two types of August 14 folks who hold a mirror up to the human condition. Those who represent their time without knowing, and those who seek to address the issues they see. All right. It doesn't say if this second type represents their time, however, at least the way I intuit the grammar there. But this is interesting, as the text doesn't usually break down the different types of people of that day, outside of those who are highly evolved and those not so evolved, all right? Regardless, both, it would seem, take on rules as a direct, take on roles rather as direct or indirect leaders. And from the sound of it, the exact kind of leader I know I'd prefer to follow, all right? With a focus on humor and, more importantly, empathy. More authoritarian types really don't seem to consider how their decisions would affect them if the shoe was on the other foot, at least seemingly, which is, a quality sorely lacking in my mind, and a cornerstone of a highly evolved individual in general, regardless of your birthday, all right? Surprisingly, when compared to other Leos, all of these qualities set you apart, all right? In much the same way, almost all other Leos are very unique in their specific qualities. So you are in very interesting company. That's why I mentioned that. All right. As to the relationships you're drawn to and attract, I probably wouldn't have guessed you find people who reflect your own traits, but having read it, it almost seems common sense, at least in a mirror analogy sense. So keep holding up that mirror, all right, and setting the example or providing as much with your needed commentary. The world needs its empathetic leaders and all the humor it can get. All right. Hey, let's dive in with your numbers and your planets. All right. Those born on the 14th of the month are ruled by the number 5, as 1 plus 4 equals 5, and by the planet Mercury. Here, the tendency of August 14th commentator type to be rational and analytical is enforced, given an extra mental boost by the influence of the sun, which is Leo's ruler. All right. Changeable behavior and a need for impulsive action may also be observed in those ruled by the number 5. And August 14th people must learn to master their impulsive feelings, yet at the same time be open to gradual, rather than sudden or abrupt, change when it furthers their cause, and that of those dependent upon them. Fortunately, the number 5 bestows a resilient character which can recover quickly from the hard knocks of life. All right, what I have to say about your numbers and your planets. This one right here, a lot of times it's a copy-paste job, but they put a little bit of effort into individualizing this for you, all right? I just like to make mention of that. So what do we have to say about your numbers and your planets? The speedy planet Mercury and its penchant for change, with an influence from the heat of the sun. All right, hey, the suggestion to moderate impulsive feelings is very interesting, as I didn't get that to be a problem from the breakdown. But perhaps that owes something to the heart on the sleeve aspect specifically. Yeah, sometimes it just doesn't do you any favors, regardless how endearing it can sometimes be. Specifically if it's too much heart, right? if you will, anyhow. So I would just say be mindful of reading the room, I suppose, and maybe leave a little space for mystery in that regard, okay? That's what I had to say about your numbers and your planets. Be mindful of that heart on your sleeve. Sometimes it doesn't do you any favors, but most of the time. All right, hey, let's dive in with your tarot reading. One of the more eclectic of the metaphysical ideologies, but hey, it's fun, it's free, it's in the book, so let's dive in and see what it has to say. The 14th card of the major arcana is Temperance. The figure shown is a guardian angel who protects us and keeps us on an even keel. The card cautions against all forms of egotistical excess. Positively seen, Temperance modifies passions in order to allow for new truths to be learned and incorporated into one's life. Because Temperance may indicate negative qualities of passivity and ineffectiveness, August 14th, people must resist trendiness and try to establish their own styles, techniques, and systems of thought, if possible, and stick to them with conviction. All right, the old Temperance card. This one doesn't pop up too often. So let's see what I had to say about your tarot. Be mindful of the ego and be open to new truths, all right? But with a mind not to throw yourself into them too headlong if you can't make it your own, it sounds like. All right. A little contrary to your inherent representation of the time, but you have to garner experience from somewhere, right? What else we got here? Just don't stick to something that isn't working, I suppose. That's what I got from it. But it would be a little ironic if that was a direct representation of the time, though, wouldn't it? If you're not able to make it work, maybe everyone else isn't either. So I broke that down a little bit to say that if that trend isn't working, okay, yeah. So anyhow, let's move on with your health. I elaborated on the ad lib. I didn't need to. All right, hey, let's dive in, like I said, with your health. All right. August 14 people should use their knowledge of the times and human activity to help shape healthy life patterns for themselves. That's right. Difficulties with the heart and circulatory system, often due to dietary imbalances, tobacco, or drug use, can be dealt with through working with a good physician or a natural healer. Moderate exercise is part of the rebuilding program, so walking, jogging, or mild aerobics and swimming are a good start. A healthy appetite for food must be kept within bounds, with an emphasis on whole wheat, barring allergies, corn or rice, limited dairy and meat consumption, and an increase of fresh garden vegetables. Well, a little generic in that regard, but hey, let's see what I had to say about your health, because there were some good points in there. All right. Problems with the literal heart on your figurative sleeve, huh? Well, let's see what... Oh, I missed it. How about that? All right. Interesting, they include the barring allergies entry, because usually it's written in a way that doesn't take that into account. Not to say that's necessarily of importance to mention out of hand. It's just to say they took the time to make this personal to you. So yeah, maybe there's something to it. I don't know how they drill down on what diets are good for people on their particular day, but hey, we just got to take that with a grain of salt, I suppose. All right, hey, let's dive in with some advice. All right, we've got apply your understanding of the human condition to your own life and turn a mirror to yourself. Evaluate your personal processes and monitor them regularly, and do not lose your spontaneity, but moderate it. You can change yourself if you want to. All right, let's refer back to the notes. This is our final entry here. Here you go. Turn the mirror on yourself. Now, just don't frame it through a partner. I know they are the reflection of the best and worst parts of you, but you need to look at it for yourself on occasion. All right, so it's good to remember, despite my thinking, it said you do this regularly anyway. So that being aimed, I guess this is aimed at those egoists born on this day, all right? The ones that were mentioned in the tarot, I suppose. But hey, just remember, you can change if you want to. You got your planet Mercury backing you up. The speedy planet Mercury. All right. Okay, let's dive in with your meditation. If you want to know what to do next, just look around you. The clues are there. Once again, if you want to know what to do next, just look around you. The clues are there. Your daily numbers, that's right. You got to get out there, look for your 3, your 4, and your 7. All right. You take that meditation with you. It's your birthday. It's just for you. I don't need to elaborate on it for you. All right. But yeah, just go out looking for your daily numbers. That's right. Okay. Hey, let's dive in with your strengths and your weaknesses. Your strengths, you're observant, you're honest, and you're funny. And you're funny, if you couldn't hear me. All right. And your weaknesses, you ready? Yourself, unaware, escapist, and disturbing, apparently. Disturbing. I didn't get that from what they wrote down here. Maybe it's the one that's on the opposite side of that mirror, I suppose. Okay, hey, let's dive into those born on this day so we know who shares your company. And a lot of times, I talk to folks who just don't know what they want to do with their life. They don't know what their passions are. They just haven't had time to do the work to figure that out. But in that case, I kind of figured that examining those born on this day is the great opportunity to get an idea for how people have done so, made themselves famous in a lot of cases, even though maybe it wasn't their passion. But hey, that being said, this is an excellent opportunity for you to see what people who were born on your birthday did with their lives. So let's get into it, shall we? All right, we start off with Lena Wertmuller, who was an Italian film director of Swept Away and Seven Beauties. We have Irvin Magic Johnson, who was a basketball guard and all-time NBA assist leader, 3-time MVP, and he led the Lakers to 5 NBA titles. He was also part of the U.S. Olympic Dream Team. Oh, who else do we have? Steve Martin, that's right, a comedian and film actor. Now, he held a mirror up, right, in a really unique way. Let's see, we got Wim Wenders, a German film director of King of the Road and Wings of Desire. We have Gary Larson, the cartoonist from The Far Side. Now, he held up a mirror, right, through paper, nonetheless. We have Russell Baker, New York Times columnist and writer of The Good Times. We also have Danielle Steele, the best-selling novelist of Family Album and Zoya fame. We have Debbie Meyer, or Mayer perhaps, U.S. Olympic swimmer and the first swimmer to win 3 individual gold medals at one Olympics. We have John Galsworthy, a British dramatist, novelist of the Forsyth Saga. We also have Richard Ernst, or Ernst maybe, a Swiss Nobel Prize-winning chemist and inventor of the NMR spectroscopy. Yeah, let's say that's what it is. We have Renzo Piano, who was an Italian architect. We also have Robin Smith, a female jockey. David Crosby, the singer-songwriter, guitarist of the Byrds and Crosby, Stills and Nash. We also have Richard von Krafft-Ebing, who was a German psychiatrist and the writer of Psychopathia Sexualis. And we also have Horst, single name Horst, German-born fashion photographer. We also have Stuff Smith, first name Stuff, last name Smith, a jazz violinist. That's unique, a jazz violin. We have John Brody, San Francisco football quarterback, NFL passing leader. We also have Alice Adams, who was a writer of Second Chances. Sarah Brightman, a British singer-actress. And Mark the Bird Fidrich, a Detroit Tigers, pitcher and rookie of the year. All right. Your season is summer. Your sign, once again, is Leo of the Leo 3 period, and your quality and elements is fixed fire. And this has been August 14th, the day of the mortal mirror, from The Secret Language of Birthdays. Let's see here. Let's get this. The Secret Language of Birthdays by Gary Goldschneider and Hugh Stelfers. I'm affiliate link for this down in the description. If you want to buy yourself a copy, you can shop through there to support the channel, if and you like. Either way, I just appreciate you joining us today so you could hear about your birthday. So once again, happy birthday there, all right? And for everyone else who just joined us randomly, well, I hope you enjoyed yourself. All right. Don't forget, your daily numbers, 3 and 4 for a 7. You get out there and let the universe show you you're on your path. All right. Take care of yourself, and happy birthday.